I want to go back in time a little bit, Pete, to you and your friends in that crew, Joey, Anthony, Harvey, Henry Borelli. I want to talk about a character by the name of Dominick Montiglio, and I want to read you. I want to read you an excerpt.
The Green Beret that you're talking about?
The Green Beret, your buddy Dominic.
Yeah.
So I want to read you now. I know that you have mixed feelings about this book. I know you have mixed emotions about it. We'll just show that picture right there. There he is. Look how young he is.
I was in a hole going that beer just for that trial. I'll explain it to you when we get later on date.
Yeah. So I want to read you an excerpt from this book. Okay. So listen to this. Now, this is talking about Dominic kind of running errands for Nino because Nino's in Florida doing what he's doing. He's got a house there. He's spending a lot of time there. So with Nino in Florida so much, and with the way the crew used his nephew to communicate with him, this was an impractical order that Dominic violated out of necessity and spite. So he was kind of being a bit of a wise ass and stuff like that, even though he did not particularly enjoy the company of Chris, Pete Lafroscia, Joey Testa, or Anthony Center. So Dominick Montiglio did not appreciate the company of you and these other guys. Why is that?
I'm going to tell you something. Jealousy is your worst enemy. I'd rather have a guy mad at me for anything in my life except being jealous, okay? Now, you got to remember something. These guys are good-looking guys. He was a good-looking guy, too. Well-dressed, girls up the ass. We all had them. Go to some Mercedes game. He would come there, right? And he would see what was going on. Now, Nino only paid him like $300 a week or so. I forgot what the fuck. He was like an allowance. So he could do shit, He used to get him crazy, you know what I mean? And, and I really didn't care for him because, I don't know, I just didn't care for him, And I got lucky like that with him, and I got lucky like that with Vito Arena. I never cared for him either.
Vito Arena, too, yeah. Yeah, you did get lucky. See, you lived a life where, of course, me as a civilian and everyone else, we can't sit here and say, oh, and this is no offense, Pete, because I'm starting, I consider you someone I know now and I like to talk to you. We can't be like, oh, what a smart guy. Oh, this guy's great, this and that, but in a sense, you had some intuition in you. You had some kind of smarts in you, and you seem to know who to avoid. You take a little hiatus, whatever it is, you're a little away from the crew. You come back, and a couple of characters have joined along this crew. A big boy by the name of Vito Arena.
Yeah.
Now, you got Freddy, Broadway Freddy DiNome, which was a friend of Roy's, and I know you had known him years back, but he was he was on the periphery, kind of just a neighborhood guy. Maybe he was a knock-around kind of guy, but he wasn't doing what he was doing in the late 70s.
No, not at all.
Prior. Right. So you came around and you see Freddie's got more involvement. You see this big fat guy, Vito Arena. And then, of course, Freddie's brother, Richie is there. For anyone that doesn't know, I mean, we'll just we'll go over here, Pete, and so people get an idea of who I'm talking about,
Right.
So we got you, we got Vito Arena, we got Broadway Freddy, and it's funny because they put you on the same page together. Son of a bitches, huh?
That's nice. I got mad about that myself.
Did you?
Because they did that on spike because they wouldn't like them fuckers. But it's okay.
Yeah. You know why I think they did that, Pete? Because if you only read this book, there's this idea, because you're getting it from Dominic's point of view. All of a sudden, this guy, Pete Lafroscia, shows up. Who's this guy? But I know from talking to you that, you had been around these guys a lot longer than, 1976 or whatever it is that Dominic is referring to. And then they call you a lumberjack too. You cut wood for a living? You cut wood for a living, Pete?
No, I cut some wood. I come out of prison. Built good, you know what I mean? So he's a fucking guy who lumberjack with us. I was healthy. You know what I mean? Anyhow.
So of course you knew Freddie. So what kind of guy? What kind of guy are we talking about?
I knew Freddy as Broadway Freddy today, but I knew him from the neighborhood because every Sunday, this guy would race these drag races, right? He'd come down Foster Avenue at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. It was a long, and he'd take this fucking drag race route and pop it, go from one end of Foster Avenue to the other, drop the parachute. I mean, but I really knew him because of Susie, the chimp.
He had a chimpanzee.
Susie, yeah. And she was in the back of the gas station, and she was on a long chain. There was a big tree that she used to climb up. Now, you'd be driving down Ralph Avenue, and people look over and see this fucking big chimp in the tree. They, what the fuck is that? You know, so but I got to know, you know, through that. I used to go over there and bullshit with him, you know. We talked about cars a lot, you know. Freddie was a pretty good half-ass thief himself with cars, you know. So at that time, you know, he shot a lot of shit. He taught me some shit that he knew when I told him some stuff. But, you know, I never thought he was kind of like a weird dude, man, you know.
Very weird. Yeah.
I forgot to call it rubber face. He had a rubber face. You could like you stretch it each way and it would bounce back in. You know, that's funny.
Rubber face.
Yeah. Now, if anybody else talked about him, Roy used to brag about the size of his prick.
Okay.
He used to be down to his fucking knee. That snow god had to be at least 10, 12 inches long. He used to brag. Wow. And Roy said, I'll bet you. And this fucker would whip it out like it was nuts. Fucking Roy Scruggs collected the money. This fucking guy, ain't no way. Yeah, that's kind of sicko. Now you got to remember, Freddie had a set of papers in his pocket, carried them all the time, that he was a certified nut. This guy got away with more shit with them papers than you could imagine. Here's a guy telling a judge when the judge said to him, listen, Mr. Day, you better pay attention. So what did he tell the judge? Judge, I'm so, no, he said something. And Freddie says, Judge, I'm so broke, I can't even pay attention. Judge says, oh, really? Fucking, stupid shit.
Yeah. There's a lot of rumors about Fratto now, truly, that he was kind of illiterate and he was. He's very dyslexic and very. Dyslexic, illiterate, yeah.
Yes, very, very. He never did, but he was a great mechanic, great race car driver. You know, where he lacked in a lot of things there, he made up for other things there. You know, and he was like Roy's lapdog. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.